Is Bill Gates trying to take over the world's supply of seeds and farmland? There's been a lot of talk about Gates because of the coronavirus and vaccines, as well as his impending divorce from his wife Melinda. But there is another story that rarely gets reported on, that Bill Gates is actually involved in a process to try to patent and control the distribution of seeds worldwide. There is a big pushback against it, though, in the country of India.
He uses his philanthropy like a little worm to hook big public institutions and privatize them. One sad man is very weak compared to the power that people have.
I'm Ben Swan, and this is Truth in Media. Hey guys, welcome to the show. A lot to get to today, including an interview with a woman who is absolutely remarkable on so many fronts, as she leads the charge to push back against Bill Gates and his foundation's attempts to control the seed population and the farmland in the country of India. You might have heard recently that Bill Gates is the largest single landowner of farmland in the United States. Well, our guest today says that's only step one of his plan. We're going to get to all that in just a minute. But before we do, a shout out to our sponsor for this episode, the upcoming webinar for CloudCoin and cloudcoin.com. This Thursday, May 20th, from 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern, I'll be sitting down with Sean Worthington of CloudCoin, and we'll be talking about NFTs, those non-fungible tokens that are being created that are worth millions of dollars, as well as the rise of altcoins like SafeMoon and Dogecoin, because a lot of folks are talking about that, as well as the crypto industry in general. Where is it headed and what you need to know about it? All of it this Thursday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern. You can sign up for Sean's webinar right now at the link in the description below or at cloudcoin.com. All right, so let's go back to this interview. Last week, I had the chance to interview Vandana Shiva. She is an environmental activist in the country of India, and she talked about Bill Gates and the Gates Foundation and the process that they've been in order to really try to take over all of the farmland globally, but especially in terms of dominating farmers and controlling the seeds through which farmers are able to grow food. And what Vandana explains is how Gates is specifically focused on the country of India for two reasons. One, because of the fact that 1.4 billion people are fed in India off the farmland there, but also because India is such an emerging nation in terms of technology. And what she says is Gates is trying to combine these two things, using technology to patent, to monitor, and to control farmland, as well as the seed population, GMOs and genetically modified seeds, and that he is doing so in an attempt to be able to dominate and control all of the food population around the world. She refers to him as the new Columbus. She says that his goal is to colonize as much of the world as possible and to remake it in his own image. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our interview with Vandana Shiva.
His dystopia of how to control agriculture through doublespeak, through pretended fake green and fake sustainability. He will own the farms of the world, and he and the World Economic Forum, but they talk about the Great Reset, and then the World Economic Forum says, you will own nothing. You will rent everything. But when farmers don't have their own seed sovereignty and they have to buy patented seed, I have watched how Indian farmers are driven to suicide and they lose their land. That's the reason they commit suicide. India has lost 400,000 farmers. And our studies show 85% of these were in the GMO cotton belt. Now, basically the Gates digital agriculture and Gates Ag 1, he's pushing it very fast in India because India is unique. India is unique because we are the largest farming economy. We are the largest group of farmers in the world. Every fourth farmer of the world, 25% of the farmers of the world are Indian. And we feed 1.4 billion people. That's the kind of economy ours is. But we are also a very, very big digital economy that does the outsourcing for the tech giants. Gates wants to merge and is merging very, very fast digital technologies, biotechnology, finance into one control system. This year, recently, Microsoft signed agreements with the government to basically harvest and mine the data of our farmers, their land data. Why would Gates want India farmers' land data? Because if farmers got into debt for chemicals and seeds earlier, now they will get into debt for buying data, for buying instructions. Their heads are being emptied out. And now what's the soil? How much water do you need? Will all be sold as big data to farmers. That'll be the new enslavement. That'll be the new slavery. But even worse, the reason Gates has bought farmland is not just because the new so-called green economy, which I do not see as green. I feel sad that the word green, which inspires my life, was abused by the Green Revolution, which was not green, it was bloody. It's been abused in this new green economy, where it's about financialization of nature and financialization of human beings, where they're talking about human capital, and your value is the value of what you can earn, not what you give to society. These new economic systems are then zeroing in with the Gates recipes on climate change, how to avoid climate disaster. He's got solutions through fertilizers, which are a big contaminator. 300 times more damaging to the atmosphere is nitrous oxide that's emitted from nitrogen fertilizers. And then he talks about first imposing fertilizers all over, and then using digital technologies to reduce it by 1%. It's a 500% increase and a 1% reduction. Precision agriculture, they call it. All this means more debt, more borrowing. All this will be linked to land. And if they have their way, we will have a world of landless people. We will have a world with no food. That's why he's also preparing to work with the Bayers and the Monsantos on these giant-sized row systems where soya and corn was already turned into raw material with biofuel and animal feed, but he wants it to even disappear as food. All food will be raw material for lab-made food, which is why he's rushing into patents on fake food. Again, as climate solution. Can you imagine breast milk made in labs as a climate solution? Impossible Burger. He is so desperate to find places where he can make money at the cost of nature, at the cost of women, at the cost of small farmers and peasants of the world. His greed is insatiable, and it comes from a very deep insecurity, insecurity of anything that can be sovereign, self-sufficient, alive, and happy. He cannot deal with that. He's a sick man.
Vandana, let me ask you this. What can be done to fight back against this? Because obviously that what you're describing is a very calculated process by which Bill Gates, by which his foundation is systematically taking over these different systems, right? He's taking over, as you said, the land system, the seed system, governmental systems, and all of it in the name of creating sustainability and protecting the climate. What can be done to legitimately push back against this and to stop his advancement in these areas?
Well, I have called him the new Columbus, and there's a huge global movement on decolonization. So we need to recognize that he is the new colonizer, and he has a new civilizing mission with a new religion, which is impose your technological fixes and your false solutions on the world through violence, through destroying democracy, destroying regulation. He has spent I don't know how many $1 million to undercut the biosafety regulations of Europe so that his gene-edited GMOs can go through. But he is also the new Monsanto, because 34 years ago, it was the biotech industry that woke me to the issue of seed patenting. And that's why I started to save seeds. And what we did with Monsanto is what we have to do with Gates. He wants our seeds. We have to start saving seeds, defending our seed sovereignty, defending our freedom to save seeds. Today, we have a big debate on the whole issue of vaccine patents. And he is behind every patent in the vaccine system. If you look at every company, whether it be Moderna or Pfizer, he has a hand in it. And today, nature has published this amazing complex web of the multiple patterns, including patterns on the coronavirus, patterns on the genetic modification of the coronavirus. All of this he's supervising. But he would like to go deeper than Monsanto in pirating seeds through digital technologies to bypass international laws. I was part of writing the International Convention on Biological Diversity laws, which basically defines seed as a sovereign resource of farmers and countries. He wants to undercut this through digital patenting. Just make a map, but the colonials did it. They made maps in the sand and divided up the world. Making a genome map without knowing what a seed is not inventing a seed, just like Monsanto did not invent a seed when they put a genetically modified trait into it. Today is a very beautiful day in India. It's called Akhti. 91, I was traveling the country to talk to peasants about how the corporations wanted to patent our seeds. And it was in a tribal area, a woman got up and said, they took our forests, they took our land, now they want our seeds. We understand what's up and we will defend our seeds. And she talked to me about this festival that is today, Akhti, Akshay Tritiya. And today we celebrate the gift of the seed. Why? Ensuring we exchange it. Today we have launched a campaign. Akshat is the name also of rice. We've launched a campaign against Bill Gates and the International Rice Research Institute, which he now controls, through where he wants to introduce a golden rice by destroying our rices and then pushing golden rice, a totally fake solution to vitamin A deficiency. We've said, we will reclaim our seed and you give back our seed. Every period of colonization has created people's urge for freedom. And in India, our urge for freedom was expressed in two ways. We will make our own cloth. We will not be subjected to the cotton empire. And we will say no to laws like the salt laws, which make it illegal for us to make so. So no matter what kind of laws you put in place, and no matter what you try and steal from us, we will protect our resources. We will protect our seed, our food, our knowledge, our sovereignty. And this means that most of the world is getting affected by Gates' action, and most of the world can rise against him by doing the simple things that protect our freedom. And if you go to Earth University at Navdanya, you will find all the courses. But we have an international program, and we've published recently The Gates to a Global Empire, where all the sectors in which he's interfering, the sea, the land, the agriculture, the geoengineering of the climate, the health, the media, it's all there from the movements that are fighting it. If these movements all join hands, as they must, through new solidarities, geographically across the world, and stop working in silos, one sad man is very weak compared to the power that people have.
Well, that was our interview, and please check out what Vandana has to say at the websites that she mentioned there. But I got to say, you know, rarely am I so kind of taken by a guest in terms of being impressed with what they're trying to do and the fight that they are leading in. And Vandana is certainly one of those people. She is inspirational in so many ways. And what I would encourage you in is to not just sit back as you hear news about Bill Gates and what he's doing around the world, and now he owns all this farmland, and it's just another, you know, kind of Mr. Burns sitting behind a desk and thinking terrible thoughts. I think we need to recognize that there is a very real tactical effort being made here to remake the globe and global society, and it is being done in the name of philanthropy. It is being done in the name of sustainable climate change. It is being done in the name of saving planet Earth. The idea that we would enslave the world's population in order to save the planet is beyond bizarre, and it's beyond twisted, and it's something that must be resisted at every level. Guys, thanks for watching this episode. Now, keep in mind, a lot of our episodes are being censored on social media, so if you want them sent directly to your mobile device, send me a text at the number on your screen, and we'll send it to you. It is the best way to get around social media censorship.